Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, and you guys are in for a treat. We've got Susan Hudd and Crypto SL369 here for you doing price predictions on cryptos. Their guides have all kinds of great news for us, I think. And the market has been crazy and things in the world are crazy, but I think we've got some good news ahead of us. So you guys stick with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, SL. So wonderful to have you.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for rebooking this for me. We have had a little chaos at my household. And Susan, it's so wonderful to have you. You are one of my favorite people to have on. I just love your energy, and you get so excited. So much positivity with you. So wonderful to have you on.
This is going to be an extraordinary month. So this is a beginning of a mini cycle now, which is going to be as crazy. And I've been having a wonderful tune in before we came on here. And by the way, to everybody, it was my fault that we were late starting.
Well,
technology. So
I don't think it was your fault. Yeah, it was definitely, it took a little while to send the signal across the pond, as they say. No problems there at all.
Susan, my group has some very important question to ask you. Can I ask you first?
Yes.
So you said that tomorrow is March 3rd. The market will drop. Yes. So is it going to drop for one day or for the next few days?
Majority one day. Tomorrow is going to be the impact day. But as I've said before, I actually feel like it's much more to do with the banking system that's going to have the rough ride. And that continues on until the 8th. I think we're going to be sort of quite shocked by what goes on. I truly believe that the cryptocurrency is going to go from strength to strength over this next couple of days. So even though it may seem a little bit quieter, but it's only quieter compared with the rest of the month, because the rest of the month we're going to be charging forward. I tell you what, I can't stop smiling every time I think about it. It's going to be that exciting. Everybody's got something to smile about, especially if they're investing in the crypto world. And there's no better time than now to start looking to see if you can get some bargains. So it'd be great over the next couple of days.
Wow.
So in terms of percentage drop, do you see like how many percentage it will drop, either BTC or Shiba?
Shiba, very little, probably not even 0.5%, a very small margin, literally a very small margin. But then what it does over the next couple of days is going to gain that back and so much more anyway. So it's hardly worth talking about, but I'm sure everybody, because it is the most exciting coin as we're speaking at this moment in time, people are going to be very disappointed if it loses any more. But it's already should have increased even over the last day or so. And I thought we were going to write the first off and think that it's not really worth talking about the first and the second. But as I said, we've got other plans, other things here. They're going to be coming up. So I do believe the Shiba is going to be okay. I do believe that Bitcoin will be the biggest, hardest hit over the next couple of days. And so I would be watching the market and looking at them. And I know a lot of people will get pretty scared. And I do see that sort of dropping and scaring a lot of people. But remember what I said, hang on to your self-esteem, your confidence, actually start believing in the coins that you've actually got. And they're the ones that are going to really start rising. And there is going to be a nice rise that does come up after the 3rd. So even as soon as the 4th, you will see even Bitcoin start beginning to rise a little bit during that time. So don't panic. Please don't panic.
Oh, my group is not panicking. Some people in the community is waiting for the drop to buy.
Oh, right. Okay.
So there's no panicking.
Right. Yeah, we're looking forward to a drop.
Right. Okay, well then get ready for tomorrow then, because tomorrow there will be a little bit of a drop. You've also got a surprise day, but there's a lot of news. It's going to be quite a big day, and not dropping enormously with the whole crypto world, but on the 16th, there could be a little bit of pushing and shoving there. So it's what I call, it's that little bit of fight for the top then, whereas beginning to look at changing positions, who's going to be in the most important top 10 and who's not going to be, who's going to be losing and dropping off during that time. So we've got an interesting time, an interesting day that day. And I think politically, it's going to be a huge day. So as long as Bitcoin, cryptocurrency in general, are not tied in with anything to do with the government, and so XRP might have a little bit of a difficult day that day. But again, I do feel that by the 18th and that, it will be all back up and it will be okay. But there's a lot of heads that are going to be rocking and rolling during that time. So government changes all across the world, and actually specifically sort of tuned into different areas. So I would see a major change coming in the US government during that time. I think the news around about the 16th is going to be a wake-up call. I believe there's going to be a new leader in Canada, in Scotland, in Australia, France, and the UK. So you can tell what a powerful energy that is going to be during that time. And so watch out for the cryptocurrency just on that day. But the following day, then people were saying, but that was a positive change. That was really good. We needed that to happen. And because we need that to happen, I think that's where things are going to get very exciting, and that for most people. And then the cryptocurrency is going to be escaping. Then it's going to be running for the gates, or running for the heavens, I should say. It's going to be getting big, high, and exciting during that time.
So beware the Ides of March, I guess, the 15th of March, and then it takes off.
So if you're looking for days to buy, that will be probably your second best day to be able to buy. So you could have a surprise on the 3rd. And like I said, it is about shocking news, or news and things that's being said around. And I think it's very important that people, as well as cryptocurrency, have cash. Because a lot of banks and all around the world will be closing down, and new banks and new forms of currency will be popping up during that time. And this is where I expect over the next couple of days, governments to be talking about their new cryptocurrency. But remember, that does come in with a big danger around it. Be careful of being tied into it. Be careful that it looks fantastic and exciting at the start, but then the rules and regulations are absolutely scaring the living daylights out of me. What they're trying to do and what they're going to be doing with their currency is far more dangerous. You won't be able to hide anything. So gone are the days as we're hiding things under the mattress. Not that I hide under the mattress, but those old-fashioned days where you could put some aside and then nobody would know exactly what you've got. So just be careful of anything here that you buy that's associated with the government, particularly in this first week in March, because that's where the danger signs would come in.
So then between March 3rd and March 16th, which day will have a bigger drop?
You would have already had, out of the 2 dates, and I would say the 3rd. The 3rd is going to have the biggest drop. And the 16th and that is not going to be so big. But like I said, it's much more about the new coins that are coming in. So you could have some government coins come in. Then all of a sudden you get big businesses that are screaming and shouting, we're buying this, trying to create that excitement, because it seems to be here a lot of waffle around that time. And that always brings in what I call the fake news, or the news here that's not so good. So just be a little bit cautious during that time and check your coins out really well, especially if you're a new beginner. So get advice from other people who've been involved in this for a long time. That's what my advice would be for you during that time. But that's where I think it's the shock factor.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in this space and in the world right now. But in the beginning, you said that Bitcoin will perform really well. The market will perform really well. Right before we get on, my spirit guide gave me a bunch of really sky high price prediction for Bitcoin. So I agree. Yeah, I agree with you.
But I would be very surprised if Bitcoin goes through the roof in this month. They dance their own dance, and that's not going to be until the month of May. So I feel that they'll be creeping along. And this is where we have to switch our energies and change things around. So the worst thing I want everybody to do, to be focusing and saying everything in their life depends on Bitcoin, because this cycle is changing itself. And each coin is going to have their own future and their own destiny. So focus on your own destiny, about how well yours is going to be. And that it's not going to be tied in anymore with what Bitcoin does. And that's what you've got to keep yourself concentrated on. It's got to have a life of its own. It's like tying everybody in at school and saying, just because it's not a very good school, then everybody in that school is not going to be very good. When actually you'll get individual cracking geniuses that will come out that will change the world. And this is what the coins are going to do now. So this is why I see Shiba standing on their own, doing really well and really standing out there. And like I said, you've got DigiByte, which is somebody from the past that's going to come back in and really sort of bring their energy back in and say, this is the way you play this. This is the way you're always going to be around. And like I said, there are so many strong energies that are going to come in that are going to do pretty well for, I say us, but everybody out there. We're going to have a happy month with our currency, and the investments that are coming into it. It's going to be outstanding for everybody. So good luck.
When you say happy month, are you talking about in March or not till May?
No, March. Apologies, March. I'm talking about the happy energy now starts from this month. This is where we see the progressive growth and that, and see why the cryptocurrency is going to be the talking point throughout this year. And you'd think it would be the ordinary banking system saying, well, how can we ever trust anybody? But it's about trusting governments and big organizations. And I think people have been done with that now. They go, that's enough of that. I'm not going to be controlled in that way. And I'm not going to take any coin on that I feel that everything depends on them. And so this is why the market now is going to begin to shift. But do I think that Bitcoin, and I honestly didn't until I had this serious meditation. And I spent most of the evening working on it and going through all the coins that people have talked about and tuning in with each one of them, just seeing where they were going to go and what was going to happen with them. And actually then all of a sudden Bitcoin started coming back up again. And I thought, well, where's the disharmony and why is it sort of coming back together here? It's because there's a lot of winners in the team that are working there. And it's like anything, when you have a load of perfectionists, do you think anybody's going to roll over and say, go on, now you're going to whip me, now you're going to get on with your life, and now you're going to leave me behind? They're going to come back fighting. And because the government is then easing back, because there's so much drama going on in the world to do with the government, that everybody's eyes going to be looking over here. And then Bitcoin is going to sneakily then creep in and do a little bit. So I don't see them being brilliant during the month of March, but better than I first expected them to do. But then, like I said, May, they stand in a month on their own where they seem to be doing really well. And for those people that have Bitcoin during that time will do enormously well. So you will have a couple of opportunities during this month to buy Bitcoin, because people will get very nervous about hanging on to it because of the rumors and the stuff that's going on. So there is going to be opportunities for those of you that would like to still buy into it. And there is still going to be profit in that. And I think if you haven't made decent profit with it in May, I think you'll end up giving up again on it during the summertime. So we've got an unusual end of July, beginning of August time with the cryptocurrency. So people will have to make sure they've taken off profit, put it all to one side, and have that all ready to invest within those couple of weeks. In those couple of weeks, again, we got dark bargains and deals, but be careful the ones you hang on to during that time that you invest in. And like I said, if it's government, got the government stamp of approval on it, then I would run in the opposite direction, unless it is just literally about quick profit here today and then gone the next day. And those are the concerns that I have. Maybe because I'm just a steady plodder in life and I just like things to keep coming in and be okay, and freaking out of having a massive drop and going, oh, goodness me, my heart couldn't take it. Maybe you guys can. So in that case, you're going to have a whale of a time, but I'll be sat back here having a heart attack for you just to have sympathy with you. So a good time for spending during that time or buying coins. There will be some great bargains and deals, but not as good as the 2 dates that will be coming in during this month of March. So we've got a couple of nice periods to come in the future. So sorry about this blabbering on, but I just get a bit excited. So
that's very exciting news. So is the war between Russia and Ukraine done and all sense? And how, like, will decisions impact the market at all?
Right. No, it's not going to. It's going to be very short, sharp, straight to the point. And I'm sorry it's the biggest fake news since we started on all the other information, the stuff that we've been tracked down. It's another way of restricting us and bringing in that fear. I'm trying to do everything I can here to turn you away from fear and show you there's great stuff and great news and great things coming out. And you're not going to believe what I'm going to say, but I'm telling you now that the leader of Russia is going to be your savior. We're all out there talking about Trump and putting him up there on that pedestal and saying, great, can't wait till he comes back. But actually, he's going to be coming back in and he's going to be there. And this is going to be so justified because the information that you are going to find out about what's actually been happening there. And I absolutely know it from the best source ever, somebody that I trust with my life. And she was speaking to best friends. She spoke to 4 people that are actually there. And they said, yes, they could hear bangs and that in the background. But they said there is no evidence whatsoever. And people know that they've got to stay in and out the way. So you're seeing all these pictures and things, but they were all from other wars, other bombings and things that happened years ago. You've got to get through this period of thinking that everything you see on the telly is real and it's what's happening today, because I absolutely promise you it's not. This is all in good hands. It is to get rid of more bioweapons. And I know a lot of you are thinking, right, there's going to be another virus or another one that's coming. If they don't get rid of the ones that are going now, then absolutely, yes, there will be. And you will be confided in this Christmas and you'll go through the same process. But if we just sit back and stop interfering and let it go its journey, then there's not going to be hardly anybody that's going to be damaged unless they are involved in looking after the wrong side. There's a good side and a bad side. And I know a lot of people may not believe that, but it absolutely is. And you will have to think to yourself, what's your government's been doing to you for the last couple of years? What's the TV been doing to you? Just constantly lying. How can you believe anything whatsoever? And you have to remember, they've spent 10, 15 years telling everybody everything is fake news if you get it on the internet. So everybody is thinking, oh, well, I can't believe anything that I hear on the internet because it's fake news, when actually you've been brainwashed and hypnotized and that for such a long time. You've got no idea what is right and what is wrong. And so you have to start now waking up and having that wisdom and saying, does that sound like it's common sense to me, or doesn't it? So start thinking now in a common sense way. But I'm telling you, it is not that violence. It's not all that aggression. And ordinary human beings are not dropping dead on the streets. It is a plan, and a plan set up, just like we've been going through recently. So sorry.
No. I am right with you. I'm seeing things myself that my gut is telling me about the 15th. I've been seeing the 15th, 15. So I'm completely with you. I'm completely with you on what you're seeing. I'm also reading Uncle Cliff's newsletter on Substack, and he's explaining what's really going on. So I know you're right. I know what's going on as well in my gut, and know it for sure. One of the things Uncle Cliff talks about is that silver specifically will run before cryptos really takes off. Do you see that as well? I mean, we saw it go up. It went up $1.20 yesterday.
Okay.
Do you see it taking off within the next few days?
I see it going off a bit. I don't see it being as big as crypto this month at all. I do see that it's coming in, that it is breaking through. It can't be much more. And to be quite truthful, if the information that I was given earlier on, and that happens to Biden and happens to the banking system, then over the next few days, we're actually going to begin to see more daylight coming with it. But remember, the month of April is a spiritual month. It's our gifts from heaven. So we're going to have everything lined up this month. So this is where there's Jazara and Nazara. And I believe that the cryptocurrency is all part of that as well. So that's going to be...
today's Ash Wednesday.
Right.
And then they were doing some comms today with Dr. Seuss's birthday. Okay. There's something to do with that. We're going to talk about it on Woo Wednesday today on my show later. To get back to cryptos, we wanted to ask you about Pac Global. They have their Yon DNA is out, and they're doing their way that they do their NFTs is different. You actually own the NFT, where most NFTs, your NFT is on the blockchain and you have the keys to your NFT, but you don't really have the NFT. So do you have some predictions for us on Pac?
I like that because it's something here that's giving you something here to hang on to, something here that you can say, I own this, I have this. And because even with the blockchain and that, how it's changing things around so that people get that feeling, because that's what a lot of people have actually been asking. Do I think this is going to be a good period? And that, yes, I do for it. Do I think that April's going to be possibly pushing itself up the scales a little bit quicker? So it might go for the first couple of weeks quite fast in April time. And like I said, because there's a lot of things here going on with the news, people will have that nervous energy. But by then we'd have sorted out where the banks are going and people are withdrawing their money and do want to invest in. So we've got a turnaround point that comes in that really picks things up. That's really going to get quite exciting. And so I do see that. Double, possibly even treble. I was just given treble. As I started saying double, I was going treble in value in that. And I was saying, and I just got the number 8. So I think by the 8th of this month, March, I believe it could have even trebled in value. And like I said, I was starting to say double, and then they overrode me, which they sometimes do. And that's why I start saying one thing and then something else comes out my mouth. And I go, well, okay. So, and I think, and like I said, I just saw the big number 8, and that could be infinity. That could be the karma sign that's all bringing in, or it can be just exactly where I'm looking at and saying around about the 8th or even around the 8th time. So and remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an intuitive person who just says, come on, give me the information, answer the question. So I just cheat really and ask for the answer to the question. So I hope that helped you.
That's very helpful. The next coin that we wanted to know what your guides had to say about was Zap Protocol. Okay.
Yeah, Zap. A little bit tighter. I'm feeling a little bit tighter in around my stomach region now, a little bit. And I'm going, well, okay, why are you making me feel this way? Why are you doing it? There just seems to be not such a smooth journey and that for this right away now. So I think I'm still going to be coughing, spluttering and going for a fraction longer now. Again, there's something very significant, an upturn or something here that's more positive, but I would say on the 5th. So we've got the next few days and that I don't see this making great an impact immediately. But I do see the growth and that going in 2 fits and starts. So I think this could be one that could be affected even around the 16th. So I've got 2 little impacts and that come in. So I think we've got a small bit of growth and then an easing back where we're just looking at it and letting it merrily go on its way. And then around the 16th and that, whatever the news is, whatever it is, seems to affect this. And it's got another little bit of a shaky day. So I think a little bit of a shaky. So whatever it's doing now, I would see the same shakiness coming in round about the 16th. So it could increase itself and then drop back to where it is right now.
Okay. The next one was Wink.
Oh, right. I like Wink. And,
okay.
You know, and the reason that I like it, because the whole time I was just talking about that one, my eye kept blinking, and I thought, well, if anybody could see, they're going to think I'm winking at them. So, okay.
Funny.
So this is lovely, and it is Spirit's way of doing things. If they're trying to attract my attention to something, they'll start rubbing my eyes or tapping my face, and they'll make me realize. And like I said, my eyes started twitching. And I just thought, oh, goodness me, I hope nobody can see it. That thing, I'm getting really weird. So I do see this as something that's going to be a nice coin. And we've got several months on this one, which is going to be pretty good. I think people in general are going to like this coin and this energy. And this month will not see them being one of the best or the highest turnarounds, but it will see a turnaround, and there is profit in that to gain. And possibly even on what I want to call the coldest day of this month, not weather-wise, but to do with the rises and that tomorrow. So this could have been where it bottomed out as low as it's going to be, and then the increase already begins and starts going. So I would see even the 4th as being a good day for this currency. So
okay.
And good month all round.
Okay. And I don't know if this will throw you off. I forgot a question on Zap. Will that mess you up to go backwards?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Zap, they were asking, do you see Zap Protocol merging with another project?
Yes. Oh, well, that will make sense, because I thought it was Wink first of all, and I thought that's why I had that little bit of a hiccup, and I could see two of them merging. So probably Spirit already knew that you should have asked that, or that was coming up. Not that I'm telling you.
Maybe I should have Spirit ask the questions.
Oh, no, because you'd never get back to the currency. You'll be wandering everywhere if you leave it to them. They tend to take control the best of the time. I put it down. That's why I talk so much. I said that I just put it down to blame them. So anyway, so sorry here. Back to your question and that. Yes, I do see them, but I actually see that that's a cracking choice, a really great choice for them, and a good decision that they will not end up regretting that decision. So the changes and that come in for that is what's going to make the coin. So well done then. Okay.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah. Let's see. The next one we were looking at was VGX or Voyager token.
Okay. Yeah.
And let me make sure I've got the right. Yeah. Here's a little chart for it. The Voyager token price chart for 90 days.
Okay. And that's what it's done, is it? Not that I can see it very well, but anyway.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it at all. I just pick up and go with the energy anyway. And so whether it's up or down or whatever, it won't make any difference to me. It will be just the energy that this is coming in. Can you say the name once more?
Voyager.
Voyager, right. Okay, that's fine. I just had to make sure that I was connecting in with the right one here. Right. So like I was saying just now about the coughing and the starting, the spluttering and that, I feel this is a bit of a spluttering period. So it's more sideways momentum than it is going up or taking things up. Will it turn around and take itself up? Yes, it will. Now, there seems to be some different talks. So there's either some creative expansion coming in with this one, or there is here some new talk. And that's why I said repeat the energy again. I had to make sure that I wasn't tuning back in to say that we've got some more movement and that coming in. So has this one got more than one coin, the company? Has it got more than one coin?
I believe so, yeah. Right. I think actually when I was pulling up, let me show you, when I went and said VGX, no, maybe it doesn't.
So this
SL, do you know?
Yeah, so this one is an app where you can buy cryptocurrency very easily on the app. And they also issue interest if you leave the coin on the app.
Okay, right. Absolutely perfect. As long as there's another side to it, there's something else that they do that's a little bit different than some of the other coins that you've been talking about, then yes, I'm going to go along with it. It seems to have that very much more that simple energy that's coming in with it. And I do believe that that's why that's going to become more popular, because of the simpleness. So maybe they've just decided it's better to have, as we say, the word bums on seats. So we have plenty of people interested in it than it is to make it go down a particular pathway. So I think their creative energy and that is going to be good. Their simplicity is what's going to maintain them and help them to have a very good year. So I would stick with them and keep with them pretty much throughout the whole of the year. So I do believe for where they're heading, they seem to be knowing what's going on with what people want and how simple people want things. So yes, I would see that as a company that will be good. But I do see that they will have some competition. And so they'll have to be very wary of what I call nodding off or settling with going sideways for very long. So they're going to have to make sure they maintain quick starts. They have got a burst during the middle of this month in March, where they will start doing pretty well. So I think even from them, from the 10th onwards, I think they're going to go through a nice peaking period. And I think this will continue on till around the 20th, and that for them, maybe the 21st. So if you're a dangerous person and like to live on the edge, you can just hang on and trust your profit and then wait an extra day. But I would say for me personally and the energy that I'm working with, better be safe than sorry, because I would hate you to earn a bit of profit from it and then just sit on it for that one extra day and then end up losing part of that profit. I don't think it's going to go thundering straight down, but it is going to have a tiny little bit of a drop during that time. So either the 20th or 21st, and that expected to have a minute little drop, not much, but a minute.
Good to know. The next coin was Doge.
Okay. Like that very much. It actually made me, for the first one tonight, really sort of swagger and really sort of yeah. So I do like this one. Remember, with a lot of cryptocurrencies, until you get past the 4th, I think that everybody's got that little slight element that it may drop very slightly. So I think they could possibly very slightly drop tomorrow. So there might be a little bit there. Remember, I always say give spirit an extra day to be on the safe side. So just keep an eye on this one for tomorrow, the 3rd and the 4th. And the 4th could surprise you. It could leap back up, or it could take an extra jump. And so there could be an extra % or so that it could be that's a bit better for you. So that would be better by the 4th.
Better by the 4th for Doge.
Yeah.
Okay. But a buying opportunity on the 3rd? On
the 3rd, yes. Particularly what I call late afternoon is one of those that will be just plodding along pretty much the same through the morning. And then in the afternoon, all of a sudden, those that bought in the morning thought, oh, I should have hung on a couple of hours because I've got a little bit of a better deal. And it just seems to be, as it's coming to the latter end of the day, it just seems to be doing a little bit better, particularly for buying. So buy, then wait until the last minute, if there is such a thing as the last minute with crypto.
Okay. Yeah, because it's up all day.
All day, yeah.
Let's see.
So if you then work it out, and if you say sort of looking at 5, 6 o'clock UK time, that will be what my guides will be saying is more towards the end of the day, rather than you guys waiting to the end of the day and go, God, I would have had a deal if I bought it first thing this morning. So UK time. So when I'm doing time, I was doing it UK time.
Okay, good
I
to
can't
know.
work out how many hours you are behind or in front or whatever. So it's always UK time.
Okay.
And UK day as well, because in some countries, it's Wednesday here. In other countries, it might be already Thursday or whatever. So
right, it's very confusing.
Yeah, so I'm always talking UK time when I say a day. It's UK the 3rd. So.
Okay. The next one was Empire. Let's see. The SL, is it the one that's just Empire? This Empire token?
Yes, that's one.
Okay.
Okay.
Make sure I get the right one.
Right. Good energy, just about to go, just about to lift off is what I call the rocket energy now. So I think you've got a good 2 weeks and that where it's going to change direction. So I can't see it at the moment because it's really faint and these glasses are not very good.
It's just in the last 90 days, it went from looks like 8 cents to nothing.
Right. Okay. Well, then it can't get any
to 2 cents. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'll be looking at between 6 and 7. When I was about to say 6 cents, they said 7 and gave me a 7 over the top. But then when I was backing back from it, the energy from it, I was then seeing the 8 again. So
okay.
I think there is
back to all-time highs.
Yeah, so it's going to be there. And a lot of the coins we're talking about will break their highest record during this month. And I believe that that is one that will recover and then actually come back and actually make some profit. So a good time if it's got any zeros there, it will be a good time to look at this. And like with anything, it's good over the next couple of months to just buy some and then sit on it during the next couple of months and just hang it in together because it's one of those that will particularly do quite well in April as well. And so we've got several growth opportunities. I don't think it'll keep breaking records over March and April time, but this could be another one at the latter end of August going into September time that it could then break a record that it's going to do this month. So it could even go higher during that time. So.
Okay. Let's see here. Make sure sometimes I'm missing some questions. So let me double check my screens. The Kin coin, KIN.
Okay.
Was the next one. Where am I? Sorry, I'm on the wrong screen again.
Is this one here reasonably new? Because I feel like I'm taking.
I'm not familiar with this one at all. So this one, SL, you'll have to jump in on this one.
Okay.
So this one, yeah, this one is not new. I've been around for a few years, maybe 2018 and 2019.
Okay, well, it doesn't feel like it. The energy just feels like it's just been reborn. So for me, I think they're going to have to do a lot more with this coin before it really sort of branches out and is something that's going to be really exciting. So this year, I think it's going to plod along. It's very important that they readjust things in the company, maybe advertise more or put more effort and energy into it, talk about it. Talking in the month of communication is now where it's something we want to do well. We have to feed the energy into it. Otherwise, it's just going to keep having these sort of ups and down moments and that, which is, as I keep saying, quite scary with it going up and down and that quite so much. Do I see it getting better? I actually see it better and that towards the autumn time in the UK. So I'll be looking at September, October, and possibly even November time. And November time, if you haven't done really well during the year, then that first week to 10 days in November time is really going to hit the crypto world then. And like I said, because it comes in here with a lot of political energies this year, and some of those countries' coins that they bring out could even crash and fold during that time. And it will be a big time. And I will find as well that Bitcoin will have a very hairy beginning of November time. And so for you guys that truly believe that it's going to tie into everything else, then you're all going to be building the energy up. And then you'll all find that you end up having a difficult time during November. But it's only that until round about the 10th, 11th at the latest. I seem to be doing from the 8th to the 11th that I I'm sort of swallowing, trying to hold my breath there, thinking, oh, do you know, I don't think the crypto world is for me. It's too much keeping me on the edge. And I think then the profits and that they've made during that time, if they haven't made some radical changes in the company and haven't sort of improved things during the year, they might get slightly hit during that time. So that's something they'll have to watch out for. So if you have and you already got it, look around that October time to take profits off so that nothing really hits you. And particularly if you're buying in pretty soon, when it's not got too much value with it, then you definitely aren't going to lose later on.
Sorry, I was muted. Good advice. Always important to take that profit and look out for yourself.
Yes.
Let's see. We were at Ken. Looks like Algorand is next.
Algorand. Okay.
Or right. Algorand, depending on how you pronounce that.
Right. And funny enough, I like the energy with Algorand rather than Algorand. The way that you said it,
okay.
First of all, it's definitely got a better energy with it, because I was going to say, no, I'm not going to be wasting me energy. Definitely not at this moment in time, because I still think that they've got a low point coming in. And I think that'd be more than likely the beginning of the April time. And that's quite unusual, because I'm feeling the momentum with most coins and that. And even when we go into April, I think Spirit is saying it's really important that everybody earns some profit during that time, because Spirit are trying to build up the trust and the faith in the crypto world, just so that people know that they've got somewhere safe to go. And so I think that because Spirit are running the show during April time, I think they've got a good chance of improving things. But that first sort of week and that, they could take a little bit of a knock, or there could be a slower period in that for them, the beginning of April time. And most other coins were already running during that time. So just be a little bit wary then.
Okay. SongBird.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. Oops. I think that one's definitely going to need some help. So with SongBird, I like the vibration and the energy and that of them, which is quite exciting. I do like that. I think it is a company. It is a coin that is going to do particularly well. And I don't think just now. I just think now we've got great improvement. But I think this is going to be a company that expands. And even going into next year, they seem to be what I call quite a champion, doing quite well. I don't know why I keep seeing flipping horse races at the moment. So I'm just trying to put it out of my head.
Well, I think I pulled up a screen of another project that I'm looking into. So I don't know if that might have confused you. I apologize.
Right. That's all right.
It's about something totally different. So I hope that didn't confuse you. Let me pull up SongBird so that we're making sure we're getting the right energy and talking about the right thing, that we're being really clear with Spirit of what we're wanting to, what information we're wanting to see and get. This is SongBird.
Okay.
And this is a chart for SongBird for the last 90 days.
Right. Okay. So they've got their little bit, like I said, a tiredness still now, which I'm going to stick with, and then a growth now through the rest of the month. So if we carry on, I think we're going to still have to stick to round about the 10th, sort of round about that time of them still not doing very well. So if you're interested in buying it, it will be a good time for you to buy it during that time, but still expect it to drop back a bit that first few days in April time. I think it's going to be after the 5th of April time, it will start then developing and growing again during that time. And the one that you're looking at seems to have a really good energy. This is like lifting up your spirits and lifting up your energies now. So I think this will bring in a great, exciting period in that for you personally. So if anybody else was smart enough and quick enough to know that and see that, that you could be just doing a great deal for them, because they'll end up buying into it. So, which is great.
Well, good. I haven't even Yeah, I'm just heard about it and had a friend talk to me about it on
okay.
Just considering talking to the partner to the team about maybe doing something. But yeah, I want to do my homework on it and make sure it's
so do your homework
project.
on it. But I feel that it's got a very positive energy and that with you. So I think the energy that comes with it will be something good for you to share with everybody. Because you would have done your homework and that on it, and you will have something decent to bring to the table, which is good. And like I said, seen it then, and like I said, it came into me with a horse race, and a horse race is something here there's galloping going forward, so it could go fast and that pretty quickly and that. So good luck to everybody.
Well, thank you. That's so funny. SL, is this the right coin for crypto.com? That's crypto 20?
No. So it's CR
crypto.
Oh, they changed the name. So I think it's CRONOS.
CRONOS?
There's no Y. So CRO.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the first one.
Thank you. Okay. So this is Cronos, which is also crypto.com.
Yeah, they changed their name recently.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that.
Right. But then I don't think they've changed enough, or they haven't changed enough right now to make them really stunning, really exciting and that. I think it'd be very difficult for them not to do well during March. And I think very difficult for them not to do much better even in April time. I think they are going to be one of those that seriously struggle during May. And so there's something here that doesn't seem to be still working quite well with them. So then you've got to ask why in this year, or why have they already changed their name? For what reason did they change their name? And so do a little bit more homework about this one before you just automatically just buy into it, because there's too much shifting and energy there. The energy isn't stable enough for me at this moment to make me really excited. I think, yes, okay, I could earn something from it, but it is one of those that are going to keep me pretty much here on the edge for the next few months and that. So it's not going to be sort of what I call a thrilly ride. It is going to be a ride which gives me slight anxiety. It's like going on a child's ride at this moment. So it's not going to be one that I'm going to be screaming from the start to the finish, but it is going to be what the thumb's saying, that I'm going, you know, should children be going on this ride? It's going to be fast. So you can tell what a weakling I am, can't you? And that's what it's going to be like. I'm sorry I haven't got sensible things to say. But
no, you're good.
Spirits. So I just say, don't let your hair down. Say what you've got to say, as long as it's right.
Terra Luna is it just Luna or is it Terra?
The first one.
There it is. Terra Luna. There it is. Terra Luna.
Like it. Definitely like it. Like the energy through the whole of this month. And I know they always say once there's an up, there's a sudden knockdown. I don't think they're going to be knocked down over the next couple of days. But there is going to be news and things, like I said, when political leaders and that start changing around. I don't know why it should affect the crypto world, but this one seems to be slightly affected by a political decision. So there's a decision there that seems to come in that's a little bit political, and they seem to be slightly affected by that. But as I believe that's coming in around the 16th, sort of round about that time, where there will be big political changes. And I even think with the war energy and that, or the so-called war energy, will be in the background more. They'll be trying to then pump up about global warming, and they'll be trying to pump up about another virus. But the whole purpose is to get rid of the viruses that are sort of lined up for everybody to be kept in. This is a very much more self-sufficient. It's those that are positive, those that are strong-minded, those that think big are going to do particularly well this month. So you've got to be very upbeat. and focus on your dreams. You could earn enough this month to build your own home. You could start your new foundation, your corporation. You could do that this month. There's going to be laying out the pattern for the year ahead for you. So expect to do well. There's going to be hundreds of spiritual jobs, and Spirit are going to be looking after everybody during April time. So there's going to be bags and bags of good news coming in around April time. The only thing that does really concern me, and it's not through doing the storms, because this is a very weathery, stormy time. Everybody's going to have freak weather. This has been going on for a little while, but it's going to actually get worse. So we've got right up until the end of May where there's going to be a lot of weird weather through earthquakes, tremors, storms, floods, all sorts of things. There is one thing that I have been worried about, and I did say a couple of years ago in my predictions and that, everybody's saying, watch the water, watch the water. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's so much the water. And I've always keep saying, I'm sure it's to do with what we're drinking. It's what's happening to our actual water. That's what we've got to watch. That's what we've got to start putting our foot down on and look at things here.
When we find out what fluoride does to us, I think people will be very angry. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen to the real scientists, not people with just the letter DR in front of them. Because to be honest, whether it's in the medical profession or in the scientific world, if they've got a DR in front of them, they have to be careful. They're not going to be arrested during the month of March. March is about new laws and people that have been deceiving people. So this is about common law. This is about changing the law. So the situation we've been through will never happen again, because we will get new heads coming in and starting it off. And that's why I believe that the foundation of the crypto world is going to, bear really well during this journey. Because I think the people that come into it will have a great interest in the cryptocurrency. So that's why I see that getting stronger and stronger. And I keep looking and I try to keep my energy down and say no more than 5 years. And they're going, why? It's going to be around. It's going to be a forever currency. But the next 10 years and that are going to be particularly profitable. So it's down to you guys that are in charge of it, that have been in it for a long time, to sort of weed out the weeds. So if there's any company in that, you should be the ones that are screaming about it first, to make sure the new people don't fall into that trap. So it's down to educating people now. So
that's important. Yeah. I want to get through this, a couple more of these. I have a couple questions about a couple other projects that we don't have listed on here, but Bow Finance